Joining me now is Mike Davis, president of the Article 3 Project and former Senate Judiciary Committee chief counsel. Mike, it's good to have you on tonight. There are so many questions I'd like to have answered. First of all, Donald Trump is looking for a special master, a perfectly legitimate claim. And the question is, I mean, normally you wouldn't get one, but we've got a former president here. We've got an FBI with a very checkered past, certainly as it relates to Donald Trump. What do you think Judge Cannon will do tomorrow?
I think she's going to do what she indicated she was likely to do, which is appoint a special special master, and she should, Judge. As you know, this is an unprecedented, unnecessary, and unlawful home raid on a former president. The president has the absolute constitutional power to declassify anything he wants. He has the absolute statutory power under the Presidential Records Act to have these records at Mar-a-Lago, a personal copy of these records. And how can you possibly, as a matter of law, how can you obstruct investigations into non-crimes? I think we saw with the Biden Justice Department's response to the motion that they have a fundamental misunderstanding of the law, and they don't have a good track record in this case. We've had leaks and lies coming out of the Justice Department. They leaked out that Attorney General Merrick Garland did not personally approve this raid. Well, that's a lie. He did. They leaked out that Trump had nuclear documents in Mar-a-Lago. That's a lie. They leaked out that President Biden, the Biden White House, did not have any advance warning about this raid. That's a lie. Jonathan Sue, the deputy White House counsel to President Biden, waived executive privilege for President Trump on behalf of President Biden, on behalf of President Trump. So that paved the way for this home raid, this unnecessary home raid.
Let me ask you something that I think is fascinating, and that is that the Department of Justice is suggesting that the president does not have standing to raise the issue. If the president doesn't have standing, who has standing?
That is such a silly argument. If you look at Rule 41G of the Federal Rules of Criminal Procedure, it is a motion to get back property, and this property belongs to President Trump because it is declassified, and he made a copy personal under the Presidential Records Act, and that is what the 2012 decision, Tom Fenton and Judicial Watch's case against Bill Clinton for having 8 years of audio tapes in his software, that Obama-appointed judge said that presidents can make the sole determination whether presidential records are personal that belong to the president or presidential records that go to the archives.
Okay, I don't mean to rush you, but I want to get these questions. Now, I was shocked to see classified documents and photos on a floor released by the FBI. Why is the FBI staging evidence like this? I mean, I've been in law enforcement for 30 years. I have never seen anything like this. Is this a legal issue or a political PR issue?
This is a political issue. They know that they do not have a legal case against President Trump for what we just discussed, and so this is desperation on their part to put out these files. Again, the president had the right to have these records, and the former president has federally paid for staff, security clearances, secure facilities called SCIFs, and Secret Service protection. These are paper records guarded by the Secret Service, not an illegal home server that Hillary Clinton had with with our most classified records that were hacked by foreign governments.
So you're saying that the president, the very fact that he has Secret Service with him, is part of the security of these records. But we really don't know what these records are, do we? I don't know what they are. I mean, we got an affidavit that is all blacked out. I don't even know what they're talking about. Do you? Does anyone?
Well, I know from the Biden Justice Department leaks to Newsweek that they're going in there. The whole point of this raid was to go get President Trump's declassified personal copy of the Crossfire Hurricane records because they're so damning for Obama, Biden, Hillary, James Clapper, Susan Rice, the FBI, the intel community. That's what this raid is about. This was so unprecedented and unnecessary and unlawful unless you understand that was the real reason for this.
Okay, and finally, it appears that one of the attorneys is in a little bit of trouble, swearing in an affidavit that everything was handed over. Do we know anything about that? Will that be raised tomorrow?
That's nonsense. This was an ongoing process. They sent 30 FBI agents to raid President Trump's home, Melania's underwear drawer, his office. Of course, they're going to find records. They said in the affidavit that this was an ongoing search, and so these lawyers search for records. It's an ongoing search. The archives didn't realize these records were missing for 18 months. I don't think that we can say that this lawyer intended to make a false statement to the Biden Justice Department. It was just a mistake.
Well, all right. That's something that we'll hear about tomorrow. Mike Davis, thanks so much for being with us. Now,